right, let's jump right into this explainer. Grab your favorite lens, pack up your gear, and maybe lace up those broken-in hiking boots, because today we're taking a vibrant, high-energy detour into the hidden natural beauty hiding right in the heart of, and just outside, one of North America's absolute busiest metropolises.
So think Toronto is just a concrete jungle? Yeah, it's super easy to picture that massive skyline, the endless gridlock, and those towering glass condos everywhere. But today, we are stepping way out of the shadow of the CN Tower. We're going to discover ancient geology, breathtaking vistas, and thriving ecosystems that are frankly going to completely flip how you see this city.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our city escape trail map for today. 1. Cheltenham Badlands. 2. Scarborough Bluffs. 3. Glen Stewart Ravine. 4. Tommy Thompson Park. And 5. Humber Bay Shores.
Section 1. Red Rocks, Cheltenham Badlands. Our very first stop takes us just a bit northwest of Brampton. Now, what's really interesting about this is how this Mars-like, completely alien landscape starkly contrasts with anything you typically associate with a Toronto backdrop. I mean, look at these rolling, desert-like red shales. You'd honestly think you just teleported straight to the American Southwest, but nope, you're literally just a short drive from downtown.
The incredible shapes and colors we're looking at here, they're formed by hundreds of millions of years of sediment deposition, followed by eons of erosion. It's this incredibly rare window into ancient sedimentary processes, and it's actually so delicate that you absolutely have to stay on the boardwalk. You can't just walk out on the rocks anymore, which is absolutely crucial if we want to protect this rare geological phenomenon for the future.
And if you get a bit closer, you can see these small valleys formed entirely by water movement. Even today, you can literally see the ongoing power of nature just continuously carving out this landscape. It is a fantastic spot for capturing really unique textures. You've got those deep rusty reds perfectly contrasted by those weird greenish-white bands running right through the outcrops. Section 2. Towering Heights, Scarborough Bluffs. Let's move to the eastern waterfront and see how this builds. 90. That's 90 meters. I really want to emphasize the sheer scale we're talking about here. These massive white clay cliffs rise up to 90 meters above Lake Ontario and stretch out for nearly 15 kilometers. When you're standing right next to them, especially with those bright turquoise waters right below, it is an absolute photographer's paradise. Now, for us shooters, what makes the bluffs so endlessly versatile is the contrast in perspectives. You've got the view from below right down at Bluffers Park Beach, where you can capture that intense vertical drama. The sharp layers of clay basically create these perfect natural leading lines pulling your eye up. But then you take the view from above, like from Cathedral Bluffs Park, and boom, sweeping golden hour panoramas, where the light just beautifully catches the cliff edges. If you're planning a shoot, definitely keep in mind the seasonal shifts at the Bluffs, because the mood transforms completely. Spring brings these thick, soft mists that look super moody. Summer, just lush green growth and perfect skies. Autumn is mind-blowing for the vibrant red and orange foliage. And winter delivers this stark, minimalist vibe with these incredible frozen textures along the lake, perfect for black and white work. Section 3. Lush Canopy, Glen Stewart Ravine. All right, stepping away from the wide-open cliffs, we're tucking ourselves under this intimate canopy, right in the beach's neighborhood. 11 hectares. That is the size of this seemingly mythical, totally Narnia-like oasis. It's incredibly lush, very secluded, and it's wild to think it spans 11 hectares, right smack in the middle of a bustling residential area. You literally step off a normal sidewalk and instantly feel like you've walked into a completely different world. The ravine hike here unfolds like a movie scene. First, you start right at the babbling Ames Creek. Then, you're walking along this beautifully maintained elevated boardwalk, completely walled in by these steep, grassy hills. And finally, the big finish, you have to climb a 114-step steep steel staircase up to Balsam Avenue. It's a total leg burner, for sure. But luckily, they built in platforms every 20 steps so you can catch your breath and shoot some of that amazing tree-filled view. This place is a legit boreal paradise. But, it didn't get this way purely on its own. It's actually been the focus of massive, ongoing restoration efforts. Thanks to all that hard work, it's now home to a rare red oak tree forest and these really unique witch hazel shrubs. If you shoot macro or do lush environmental portraits, this is your spot. Section 4. Reclaimed Nature, Tommy Thompson Park. Now we're bringing things right back into the city center, and here we find this incredible irony. So the crucial point is this quote: "This peninsula is entirely man-made. They put all the landfill out here, all the crap that they dug out of the city. Decades ago, they dumped subway rubble and construction debris into the lake to build a port. But instead, nature just completely took over. This literal dumping ground evolved into a gorgeous, thriving wildlife reserve. It's such an amazing aha moment." And because the park is completely vehicle-free, and actually it's dog-free too, it's an absolute magnet for critters. We're talking beavers, minks, otters, turtles, and incredibly diverse bird species. It's such a surreal experience to be framing up a shot of an otter or a mink, and then you just slightly pan your camera, and bam, the CN Tower is looming massively right in the background. It is urban wildlife photography at its absolute peak. Section 5, Wildlife Hub, Humber Bay Shores. Heading over to the west side, we find Humber Bay Shores. This spot actually holds deep indigenous roots. The Anishinaabe people called it Kabashanong, which means leave the canoes and go back. And this brilliantly illustrates how dynamic the wildlife cycles are here based on the timeline. Spring brings massive bird migration. Summer explodes with butterflies in the open-air habitat, and then fall brings the legendary salmon run. Seriously, the fall salmon run here will blow your mind. Between September and November, you can watch thousands of salmon fighting their way upstream from Lake Ontario. When they finally hit the Old Mill Dam, you get to watch them make this spectacular, hair-raising meter-and-a-half jump right out of the water. It is this incredible, primal, natural event happening literally inside the city limits, and catching that midair leap on camera is such a thrill. Section 6, Your Next Urban Adventure. So, pull all these threads together and you get this beautiful, cohesive story of untamed nature intercepting right with our urban life. If you're heading out, keep these actionable photography tips in your back pocket. When you're at the bluffs, shoot from the beach to really emphasize the scale of those cliffs. If you're shooting the water, slap on a neutral density filter for those buttery long exposures. And honestly, no matter where you go, always pack binoculars and a long lens. You never know when a rare bird or a mink is going to make a surprise appearance. We've explored alien badlands, towering clay bluffs, secret boreal ravines, an infrastructure dump turned wildlife haven, and epic fish